Greetings. I'm listening.
Good to meet you.
I've been expecting you.
For the good.
You come get the voodoo.
Hey there. And you are?
Light be with you.
You come to consult the spirits?
Welcome to Orgrimmar. Have you come to serve the Horde?
Shiny. Sail here. Me buy and trade. What?
Sail here. Me buy and trade. What?
Hello and welcome to Control Alt WoW, the podcast for those of us who love World of Warcraft and love making many alts. Today is Sunday, October 31st, 2021, and this is episode 726 entitled 9.1.5 and the Earnings Call. I'm Aprillian, your host, and with me are my two awesome co-hosts. Hello, Constrax. How are you?
I'm feeling fantastic. I just came back from visiting Mrs. Constrax at the hospital, and she's doing a little bit better. So fingers crossed that they'll let her out of jail soon.
Yeah, let's hope that.
Let's hope that. I was sending positive energy to...
Yeah, orange is a new plaid.
To Mrs. Constrax. Does she know that her name is Mrs. Constrax?
Yes, she does.
And Gray Nakes, how are you?
I'm doing fine. I'm feeling a little bit better now, but we're going to get into that with all the things involving Blizzard going on, and I watched a couple of reactions to one of the topics we're going to talk about on YouTube. So, and I was pretty much,
there's a lot going on.
Oh, there's so much going on. It's not even funny. It's everything but funny. And
everything but funny, definitely. All right. Well, let's get started. First of all, do you want to start with what's going on this week, or?
Yeah, let's just get that out of the way, and then go into the news stuff.
Right.
We have to catch up on a couple of weeks of news.
Yes.
But I condensed it down to something, I hope, rather manageable.
Right.
So,
if you can go to our show notes, you can see everything.
Yeah.
And it's a lot.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the text.
Yeah, it's
Well, the most important thing going on right now is, well, two things. Darkmoon Faire and Hollow's End. So if you can get to Darkmoon Faire, get your Wii buff, and go to Hollow's End, you will have a lot of fun.
It's the last day. Probably if you listen to this and you have lived under a rock, and you haven't noticed that Hollow's End is going on, it's ending
tomorrow.
Literally tomorrow. So pretty much for the only ones to which it is a surprise that it's going on, and you're not listening to the live stream or a very, very...
it actually ends on Monday, tomorrow at 11 a.m.
11 a.m. So yeah, there you go. It's like, not even, it's like 11 hours from now. So It's very, very close to finishing.
Yes.
Yeah, so let me just quickly...
You hear some banging noise. There's a person in the back letting off all their fireworks. They've been going since yesterday at the hospital.
With you, yeah.
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
They decided to break open the box of fireworks.
Yeah, I mean, it's, you never know when people are going to celebrate New Year's or their day of celebration, like whatever, 4th of July or whatnot.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you guys have Independence Day as well in Canada?
Canada, we have the birthday of the Queen, July 1st, and we have for people in Quebec, we have Saint Jean Baptiste Day.
But you're not in Quebec.
I'm from Quebec. I was born there.
Yeah, okay, but you're not in Quebec as in people around you are going to celebrate. You are in BC, so...
Yes, but I still see the effects of when they have the holiday because they don't ship in that province that day.
Yeah,
it's
but
like
you said...
It's like a national day off for that province.
Yeah, but you said people around you were shooting off fireworks. That's not something that's probably not something that's related to Quebec. That's what I'm getting at. Yeah. No. So micro holiday. We have the Day of the Dead starting tomorrow.
Right.
November 1st.
If you want your macabre marionette.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you have some flour.
Flour, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, and then it's running through November 3rd, so you got 3 days, kind of. I'm not sure about the times when it's going on, but like the dates. Sometime tomorrow it starts, and sometime November 3rd it ends. So yeah, might be different local times, and depending upon when what your server times are. So yeah. Then we have starting on Tuesday. We have, since it's the beginning of the month again, we have the Torghast event, the monthly one, Beast of Prodigum. I don't know what that is. The term is unfamiliar to me.
Prodigum? Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, non-native English speaking. I might research it eventually sometime.
Well, I just want to point out that your English is way better than my German.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, I guess.
Dankeschön. Is that right? Did I say that right?
Dankeschön.
Dankeschön? No.
Dankeschön.
Dankeschön. Thank you.
Yeah.
I stand corrected.
But that's thank you.
Right.
So yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's as far as my German goes.
Okay. Okay. And we have the World Quest bonus event coming up, along with the PvP Brawl Compstomp. So again, if you want to get some honor points to update gear or to buy other goodies, or to grind out your honor level for the mounts or for the other honor level stuff rewards that you can get. Compstomp is a great way to do it. Ending on Tuesday or on Reset is the Arena Skirmish bonus event, along with the PvP Brawl Gravity Laps. So no more less gravity, back to Earth it is. Yeah, that's basically what's going on in the game. And then we're off to
the races?
Into the belly of the beast.
Okay.
With the news. Let's start off a little light. Today, I think, like one of the last days, very recently, we got an overview over some technical issues relating the new WoW Classic Season of Mastery launch, which is basically if we want to call it, as I think we can call it seasons for WoW Classic. One season might eventually last a year until people are through, and then they probably, maybe, if the community decides that it's a good idea, they might reset it and then start anew. So WoW Classic Season of Mastery. And one thing that let me just start with that, since that's something I haven't written down in the show notes. Apparently, the Season of Mastery server multiple caters to Iron Man, because you will have a buff that indicates if your toon has died yet.
Oh, wow. That's big.
Yep, I can't remember the term. You get 2 buffs. You get one as that lasts until your toon dies, and then it's replaced by another buff that indicates that your toon has died for the rest of the life of the toon.
All right. Well, that's a
not that it's perfect, because there are so many other terms of under which your toon can get disqualified.
Right. Like wearing a green outfit, something that's
or like drinking potions or whatnot. But that is one step towards Iron Manning.
Wow, that's very interesting.
It's very, very nice to see that that Blizzard
is acknowledging WoW challenges.
Is acknowledging it, yeah.
Thank you. And that we can acknowledging Stone. Basically, yeah.
So, I mean, there are other people that play a
version
of an Iron Man where it's basically you play until you die, but everything else is okay.
Right.
They make up their own rules.
You can do potions. Yeah. You can wear green.
Yeah, sure.
You can wear purple.
It's whatever. It's whatever you decide. That whatever way you play, that you decide it's okay. So, and WoW challenges. I don't think I guess I'm.
It just takes it one step further.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think that they want to be the be all end all.
Right.
And then,
they give you an option.
Yeah. So I think that's a good thing that we can finally at least have that. And I mean, since I can't remember if we have a stat sheet or not a stat sheet, a statistic sheet,
right.
Stat sheet in the classic world with retail. You can just open your stat sheet and look through what boss have I killed, have I died, have I consumed 5,349 potions.
Right.
All those statistics around your toon is available in game, in retail. I can't remember if that isn't the case in Classic, then it makes perfect sense to at least give people that using the buff method that I just described.
Right. And it gives them an option. It doesn't lock them in, doesn't say you have to, but it gives you that option, yes.
Exactly.
I love that. I love that so much.
Yeah, me too. So back to the Season of Mastery, the two things that they announced are, for one, the fact or two dates. One is the date as of which you can reserve a name on the servers. Or servers. I don't know how many they're going to start up. The date is going to be November 11th. So come November 11th, players with an active subscription or game time on their WoW account will be able to create one character per WoW account. So that is, I think that's it's different from the WoW Classic original, where I think you could create 2 or 3, I believe, per server, per account. But that's neither here nor there. It's so you can get your character with your name, hopefully.
Right.
And then the servers or the season itself, the Season of Mastery release date has been announced as well, and that's November 16th at 3 p.m. PST. So it's a global launch again, much like every launch has been in the past years. So there is that. If you want to participate in an early start, if you want to do Race to World First, or God knows what other fast leveling method you want to play with, if you want to grind out resources to sell on the auction house or God knows what, you can start on November the 16th at 3 p.m. PST. Okay, that was the light part. Now we get down to a little heavier.
The nitty gritty.
Yeah. A couple of days ago, Blizzard announced that we are not going to have the previously announced BlizzConline 2022.
Oh no.
They write to the Blizzard community. This is from a blog post. We decided to take a step back and pause on planning the previous announced BlizzConline event.
Do you think this is because they couldn't have their little...
Oh, I get to that in a bit.
Okay, all right. Sorry, go ahead.
Scheduled for earlier next year. This was a tough decision for all of us to make, but it's the right one. Any BlizzCon event takes every single one of us to make happen. An entire company effort fueled by our desire to share what we create with the community, and so forth and so forth. Let me see, where is the other one? They basically say that they want to reimagine BlizzCon, which is...
I know, yeah.
I don't know. It's something that...
it has so many connotations.
it says, additionally, we would also like to take the time to reimagine what a BlizzCon event in the future could look like. So it's not will look like, it's could look like. So they're doubly vague as to what the whole BlizzCon thing on so many levels is going to be.
Right.
First, BlizzCon was hit 16 years ago, and so much has happened in the time since. Oh, yeah. So in my opinion, my first question is, will there be a BlizzCon in the foreseeable future, as in the first 5 years from now? Because I get to the Bobby Kotick letter in a minute, and what he has written in that letter to the Blizzard Activision Blizzard. I can't remember who specifically he addressed. Some of it takes time. Some of it is like just flip a switch. The other, or some other things you can't just flip a switch and make happen. Even Bobby can do that. So there are things that just will have to take time. And time is a very fluid thing.
Very fluid.
You can't just have one thing happen, and it's like you throw a stone of a certain size into a lake and watch the ripples. And what do you want? Do you want the ripples?
Right.
Or do you want the ripples to go away again and just the stone to sink? There are
right. Are you throwing away the stone, or are you throwing away the effect of what the stone?
Yeah,
does?
there's so many things that make this bad. What Blizzard went through. Right. One thing is the demands of a better ABK, which are legit. The other things are how Blizzard addresses them, if at all. Who addresses them, in what way they are addressed, if at all.
Right.
And then how people in the community react and accept or don't accept the reaction. Because every single person is unique and has expectations. Because everyone has their own kind of demands. Like I've said so many times on this show, I can't justify playing Blizzard games until my criteria for dealing with it in the way that I feel comfortable with have been addressed.
Right, and so I want to intervene I just want to say something real quick. Okay, so
sure.
Everybody has their own right to respond. And I am referencing Dave Chappelle right now. So apparently, we all know Dave Chappelle said some things to the trans community that I don't agree with. And at the same time, people were saying, oh, well, he said things about the black community that weren't nice. And now the trans community want to get upset. You have the right to be upset about what affects you. And no one has the right to say, oh, well, you should not be affected because XYZ wasn't affected.
Exactly.
Yes.
The only people that have the ultimate right, in my opinion, the people that have the ultimate right to say this was wrong without any doubt are the people that were hurt. First and foremost, their needs have to be met.
Right.
Their
and there's this
issues.
whole group of people who slaved away, and I use that term loosely, who made World of Warcraft what it was, under duress, under stress, under being not treated the way they should have been treated, and the way we thought they were treated. We thought that everybody working for Blizzard was,
kind of okay, yeah.
I almost said Oompa Loompa, but even the Oompa Loompas weren't treated right. if truth be said. But we thought they were happy, shiny people. And here we are giving Blizzard our money, giving Blizzard our accolades, giving Blizzard our good deeds, only to find out that these people who were giving us, and I want to use the word, I'm using the term loosely, are their blood and sweat and tears, and not being treated properly. And that's what hurts.
Yeah.
And you can't nullify what they went through because of what you think. It doesn't matter what you think. What matters is what they went through. Sorry, go ahead.
Exactly. You cannot as a bystander,
yes,
quote unquote, you cannot say that the pain they felt, be it physical, be it mentally, be it any other kind of pain, is not valid. The pain that needs to be dealt with first.
Right.
In whatever way it needs to be dealt with, be it that the person that inflicted the pain, whichever kind of pain, has to be sanctioned, has to be removed, has to be whatever, or be it that they have to get compensation. Oh, God knows what other...
And I want to address this. I just want to address one thing. The people that inflicted the pain were broken. I'm not taking away from what pain they inflicted, but there was something fundamentally wrong with them that they were able to label a room the Bill Cosby room. There was something fundamentally wrong with you for you to do that. And you didn't have daughters, because you would not be able to do that if you had daughters. But let's go on. I'm sorry.
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe they didn't care about their daughters. I don't know.
Maybe they were just able to really compartmentalizing very, very well. Yeah. Yeah, it's
complicated.
The human brain is such a, I don't want to use the term wondrous, but it still is.
Yes, it's complicated.
It's very complicated. So, yeah.
For right now, and I just want to say this and I'll let it go. I feel for every female, every minority at Blizzard that suffered. At one point in my life, I worked at a Swenson's in Georgetown, D.C., and it was an ice cream parlor. But in order to keep my job, I actually had to give my boss a blowjob. And the fact that I had to do that to keep my job is just mind-boggling. And the fact that if some way my subscription contributed to that kind of culture blows my mind. And that's the bottom line.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's something that never should have been.
Never should have been. Yes.
No, but again,
I digress. Sorry.
No, it's absolutely valid. If people and power are very push and pull interaction,
right? And that's
relationship.
The sad part. If we had, if the universe was actually set the way it should have been, then every individual should have power instead of the people in charge having power. But yeah, it's not that.
The saying goes, power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. Yeah. So that's the crux of it. If people have in their small world have absolute power, then it can go to their head, and that's something that if you're not mentally strong enough to resist that urge to inflict and abuse that power upon other people, then you're just not made for a leadership position or for a position that awards you the ability to have ultimate power. That's what it is, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So,
all right. So
next,
what do we have next?
Next, we have as for the show title,
9.1.5.
Yeah, 9.1.5 is launching on Tuesday, as well as the Q3 earnings call is coming on Tuesday. Mm-hmm. And wouldn't you know, all these, and I think I said that in another show as well, that they are going to throw every kind of mud they find at the wall to see what sticks in light of the Q3 earnings call coming. And Bobby Kotick, he wasn't satisfied with just a handful of mud. He threw a whole bucket or whatever at the wall.
A whole pail. Yes.
So he released.
Here, show me the money moment.
Oh,
show me the money.
I'm on a boat.
Yeah. So he wrote a letter on, I believe, the 28th and released it. So it's fairly recent as well. I'm going to not go through all of it. Just you can read all of it on in the show notes.
Right.
I copy and pasted it.
Oh, shoot.
And or you can go to the Blizzard blue post, because they made a blue post out of it. Why they would do that is another thing where, and not just let other people get it out there.
Right.
Transparency, people could call it transparency, but I have a very hard time calling it that, because then it would have been titled or been released to the public as a letter to the public as well. And it just wasn't. It was a letter email to the employees. I don't publish my employee letters or emails.
Right.
When I'm head of the company. So again, it's all, in my opinion, it's all, and I think Preach said that in his reaction. I watched a couple of YouTubers and content creators' reaction to the content of the letter, and Preach, I think, said it best with this topic of trust and skepticism. It's we've been burned, and we are now skeptical about almost whatever Blizzard releases announcement-wise.
Right.
And that compared to previously, where to many Blizzard could do no wrong, now it's like Blizzard can't do anything right.
It's like they're
because there is this.
Yes. Right.
Yeah, it is all, and we don't need to put on any rose tinted glasses, because Blizzard is a business, and we always have to be. And Taliesin said that so often when he talks about Blizzard.
Yes.
Blizzard is a company. Blizzard is a business, and they have every intention and every right to make money. Of course, that's what businesses do. They make money.
Right. But most businesses are held accountable.
Yes, right. And Blizzard is, or Activision Blizzard is as well. It's just not to the account that they should be. And there are so many things in this company that go against what we thought it was. It's like diametrical opposition. It's where we thought it was white, it's black. Where we thought it was light, it's void.
It's almost like the Wizard of Oz. Like, don't look behind the curtain.
Yeah.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain who's just pulling levers. Instead, pay attention to what we're doing over here that looks shiny and right.
Yeah. So some key notes from Bobby's letter I'm going to read. Like the first paragraph is a few weeks ago. I reiterated our commitment to become the most welcome, inclusive company in our industry. Yeah.
Right.
You got a long way to go there, Bobby.
A lot.
Yeah. Today I want to update you again. The employees. You always need to keep that in mind on some initial progress and important additional steps we are taking to advance our commitment with greater impact, transparency, and urgency.
Right.
First, he wants to offer his sincere gratitude to the people working at the company and doing all the hard work for him, and so forth and so forth. It's corporate speak. And who was it that said that? I can't remember what content creator said that. They had sat in, I think it was Preach as well, where they basically were a board or a group of people debated about every single word of letters, communiques like this one. What and weigh every single word put in there to be it, if it's like more or less advantageous or whatnot. And I feel that the first three paragraphs, much like Preach said, it's it's corporate speak, and it's sad that they just made it that way, and that they're not just coming down to saying this is what we want to do, and just putting all this. How did they say? One of them said blah blah blah.
Yeah,
it's nothing. Yeah, that's what it is. If you read this over the last decade, as we've brought in new companies, grown our workforce, and expanded our business, we believe we had the systems, policies, and people in place to ensure that our company always lived up to its reputation as a great place to work. Clearly, in some vitally important aspects, we didn't. No, you didn't.
No, you didn't. And you had to know you didn't.
And that's the point I wanted to make. You thought that ... You should have known that it wasn't, because those boys played in their playground for more than a decade. And I refuse to believe that no one knew.
Right.
The fact that the people that knew didn't come forward is doubly damning.
Right.
So it's something where and again, that's where your curtain comes in. Don't look here. Look over there.
Look over there. Look, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, that's something that I feel that as true as the statement is to some extent, it's revealing more than it tries to hide, tries to justify. So, yeah.
Exactly.
Being welcoming and inclusive in the context of our workplace is crystal clear. We will still passionately debate ideas, employ healthy skepticism when appropriate, and demanding excellence and rigor in all of our pursuits. But we will always treat each other with dignity and respect. Yeah. He says we will, not we have done.
We will.
So
from now on.
Damn the past. I don't care about the past. I'm not going to, again, this curtain, this hand, and that hand. And regardless of differences, voices will be heard, will be again, yeah?
Yeah. Well,
perspectives welcomed and contributions valued. Yeah. We are a business fueled by passion and performance. Yeah, well, that might be in a way, but if I had sat in on the team crafting this letter, because it's clearly not his work.
Right.
I would have gone with company rather than business.
Right.
To like,
because a business is like banking is a business. You know,
yes.
Gaming is a business, but you're a company. You're not a business.
Sure. It's again, it's a revealing terminology, and that I believe that 8-10 people at least sat in on that meeting to create that all those high level people, well versed people in the field of crafting those type of letters, that they missed that is it's intentional, and that intention for me comes back to the earnings call.
Right.
because they knew that they were going to publish it. And they knew that people that had something to say with regards to shareholders, that they were going to read this letter, this email. And that's when that's when the term business makes a lot more sense than
company
in mere email to employees. So it's all the rules. It's all, and again, like Preach said, it's so sad that we have this skepticism about everything that they do currently. Not that it's wrong, quite the contrary. In my opinion, it's okay now, but sometimes it's the other way around, that we're so, it's a Pavlovian effect.
Yes.
And we've learned it so quick now that we're like, whenever something comes out official from Blizzard, we have this skepticism on alert. And we need to be convinced that it's not bad. So, and having to live with that is not pleasant, at least not for me. So there are some things that, further, he says, I want to share 5 new changes we are implementing, but recognize being a model for workplace excellence will be a dynamic process. That's what I meant with earlier when I talked about this can't just be a flip of a switch and it's all better. Dynamic process requiring additional changes. So he's basically committing to additional changes over the coming period of time, however long that period is going to be, and an unrelenting commitment to improvement, which is good.
Right.
Not going to say that stuff isn't good, that it actually is good. If
they stick to that.
If they stick to that, yeah, sure. It's always, the proof is in the pudding. That's just how it is with everything.
Right. You can say blah, 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 but if you don't follow through, then it's just blah, blah, blah.
It is just that.
Yes.
Blah, blah, blah. Number 1, we are launching a new. Why haven't you done this before? Why any of this? What's coming now? And again, I can't remember who said this. I'm not going to say it's my own thought, because it isn't, kind of. Why have these things not been implemented from the get-go? Why has this, what we see now as new changes, new implementations of stuff that's happening now, why hasn't that been the standard from the get-go? It's something that Preach said, that his company of 5 people has an HR department. Yeah. So it's something. So it's. I just can't understand why this is so difficult to implement. If people are being treated wrongfully, then it needs to be dealt with. And just because people don't die, quote unquote, that doesn't mean that they haven't been treated wrong.
Right.
Sometimes I feel that some companies want to get this topic of abuse, of whatever harassment, whatever other stuff dealt with. And this is, I can't remember what the term is. In California is one of those states where you can just go and fire people for no reason. It has a specific term. I can't remember what it is. That's just something that just because your nose doesn't look nice today, I can fire you. That's something that I just don't know if that's something that I find acceptable. Might be the law,
right,
affords me the right to,
but that doesn't make it right.
That doesn't make it okay. Exactly.
Right.
So, but yeah, that's neither here nor there. So they're launching a zero tolerance harassment policy company-wide. In the past, when we discovered a substantiated harassment, we terminated some employees and provided verbal or written warnings or different disciplinary actions to others. In retrospect, to achieve our goals for workplace excellence, this approach is no longer adequate. No, it never has been.
Right.
It never has been. The only issue I have with it is abuse of the zero tolerance policy. Because where there is an opportunity, again, power. It's a power play.
Yes.
And we all know that if you have power and you are a person that doesn't deal well with the possession of power, you can abuse it, but it can work the other way as well. If a person that is abused finds that, oh yeah, I'm just going to lash out, and the one person that abuses me has been dealt with, and then 5 days later, the nose of another person doesn't feel right to them, and they say that, oh yeah, this person has done something to me as well, when they haven't. And this is something where false, what's it called? False allegation? No, yeah. Right. When you have the power to have them being removed from whatever position they are in, that can be very alluring sometimes, when you otherwise don't have that power, and when you see that dangled in front of you. It's nothing that I want to go into too deeply, but it's something that needs to be considered, and yeah. So there are things that absolute zero tolerance. It's great. It needs to be done right. We need tougher rules and consistent monitoring across the entire company to make sure reports are being handled correctly and discipline is appropriate and swift. Exactly. that's it. As a result, we are implementing a zero tolerance policy across Blizzard, Activision Blizzard, that will be applied consistently. Our goal is to have the strictest harassment and non-retaliation policies of any employer. And we will continue to examine and tighten our standards to achieve this goal everywhere we do business. Any Blizzard employee found through our new investigative process and resources to have retaliated against anyone from making a compliance complaint will be terminated immediately. In many other instances, a workplace misconduct will no longer rely on written warnings. Termination will be the outcome, including in most cases of harassment based on any legally protected category. So I don't know what the terminology legal protected category is, but for me, I don't know US law that well. But to me, it's a limiting terminology. It limits the range of people it can affect. Why? Just because I would assume it's something like sex or sexual orientation or religion or disability, something to that effect. I would assume that that's what it might be. But what if it doesn't fall under that criteria? What if it's just a harassment without the sexual part in it?
Right.
Among same-sex individuals in the company, taking that part out, same sex, same race, same whatever. If it's the same, if it's a white man versus a white man, I don't know. If nothing legally protected is ongoing, it's still harassment.
Right. Exactly.
Why limit it to that? It might not be limiting on the first view, but still it's limiting. If you, I don't understand this. It's something where it's like a half step towards a goal that takes one step.
Right.
It's the first step, but I guess he had to validate his statement from earlier, where he said that it's an ongoing dynamic process. So he needs to be able to put something in a report 2 years down the line.
A paper trail.
If that's if that's the case, then that's even sadder.
Yes.
Because it's among the same. If it's just quote unquote harassment is bad. Period. Full stop. Right. But if it's just harassment without the legally protected categories, terminology, criteria involved, it's still bad. Why put that in there? Strike that and let's get on with it. The shorter the statements, the updates are becoming the better. If you go through all of it now, you don't have to deal with the update because everything is okay. You save yourself lots of work, Bobby, if you do it right the first time. Future employment contracts and equally awards will be clear. Termination for these reasons will result in the immediate forfeiture of further compensation. So, he clearly states that future employment contracts, not his, not Fran's, because they exist already. The contracts are written already.
Right.
So they can't just take his compensation if he should be found guilty. It's the future people that future new employees that have to deal with the forfeiture of future compensation, which they should if they harass or do bad things, sure.
Right.
But make it retroactive. Put that in your contract as well, if it's legally possible. Or put an addendum to it, or whatever the term is. It's not the problem, I think. So it's something that there's so many. Again, it's corporate speak. It's so sad that this on the first glance, oh yeah, it's nice. They do stuff. They take into account that we all need to be
held accountable.
But working together nicely, right. And all. And if people aren't, then they need to be dealt with. But if you look under or behind the curtain again, it's not. It's just it's makeup. It's cosmetics to a certain degree. So it's like Dorian Gray, is it? The guy in the picture?
Right, Dorian Gray.
Dorian Gray, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like you have this bad thing that on the outside looks perfectly fine. That's basically how I see the company. All the stuff that went on over the years made it such a bad place to work at. Not that other places aren't better. I'm not going to say that. I'm just talking about Blizzard or Activision Blizzard.
Right.
But on the outside, you have this painting. You have Dorian Gray. Oh, the person, the picture is the one that decays. So that's something that I find is quite a good analogy. So, and then, number 2, we will increase the percentage of women and non-binary people in our workforce by 50%, and will invest $250 million to accelerate opportunities for diverse talent. So, and people said that the content creators said that as well. That I find is and I agree totally, because we have an issue like that in German politics currently. We've had that for quite a while, ever since the Green Party started with their quota system where they have a leadership has to be 50-50. Has to be a man and a woman. In Germany, when we have an election, we have elector lists, and depending upon how many votes a party gets, the lists gets worked off. So let's say a party gets 15% of the vote. That means that, say, 35 electors from that people get a parliament seat. So that means that, or it's 16. So that's got to be, in the Green Party, it's got to be 6 and 6. Each one, each got to be like 6 men and 6 women, as far as I know. So, and they have leadership position is always a team, leadership team of a man and a woman. And and then you have this term people call token people, where if you can't fill a position because they are the best,
right?
Because you need to meet a quota, then you have to, the better person has to step aside just because of the quota.
Oh,
so
that makes no sense.
No, but I'm saying that's just an example.
Okay, got
and
you.
That's the way that if you go with strict quota, that's what it has to be. If a quota is implemented, and it has to be a man and a woman, or whatever if it has to be a Caucasian and a non-Caucasian person, or whatever, a Buddhist and a Roman Catholic person, whatever quota is implemented there. You can't just go with qualification. You have to go within your quota pool. You have to go with the best or the most qualified or whatever you want to. So it's rather difficult to make that happen. And I'm not sure if they've opened the door for quite a bit of controversial discussion now, because as much as I would like to see more women at Blizzard or wherever, because we all know that women are sometimes have the better ideas. It's something where ideas and responsibility and what's the term? If qualification is not necessarily what they are after. If you want to have a smart person, it's not an IQ thing. Even though high IQ is commonly considered great. But if your IQ is too high, you're too smart. Then there are other mental issues that you might have. We've heard of people that have too high an IQ, and it's always it's a two-edged sword. So I don't think that's too. It's a good first step, and if they don't enforce this 50% quota thing, if they don't hold it to be a quota, then I'm okay with it. The 250 million is okay, sure. Why not invest it again? I come back to why do it now? Why not before? It's something. Had you done it before? Had you chosen your workforce more neutrally, not only gender neutral, but had you made the workplace Blizzard a more comfortable, a more friendly to whatever aspect you want to consider from the get-go, you might not have needed it before. So it's all catch-up. They're playing catch-up, in my opinion. Today, approximately 23% of our global employee population identifies as women or non-binary. Building on the success that King and other business units have achieved, we will seek to increase our percentage of women and non-binary professionals by approximately 50%. So, what does King do better? He's always talked about Activision Blizzard now. I'm not too familiar with King. I would like to see what his reference is. King and other business units. Activision Blizzard acquired King, how many years ago now? Quite a few years ago, I believe. Why do you acquire a company and then not look at their situation in whatever way you can, and then implement things that are better there, that you now consider better because you changed them? There must be a reason why, and I would assume it's for the betterment of the company. That's what you say, Bobby. Why now? And what is what King does so much better, apparently? I would really like to know if people can enlighten me on that. I really would like to know. To further this commitment, we will be investing an additional 250 million, so that makes 500 million now, over the next 10 years in initiatives that foster expanded opportunities in gaming and technology for underrepresented communities. This commitment includes inspiring diverse talent to pursue career opportunities in gaming through an ABK Academy. That means that that's not in existence yet, because otherwise it would say the ABK Academy, right? That's how I read it. That includes partnerships with colleges and technical schools serving underrepresented communities, mentorships for participants, and the rotating apprenticeship program that leads to game development jobs similar to the programs we began with the United Negro College Fund and Management Leadership of Tomorrow. We will also provide learning, development, and advanced degree opportunities for current employees to increase the number of women and those from underrepresented communities in leadership positions across the company in our industry. Okay. That was a mouthful. So basically, what they're saying is that they are going to work on the improvement of the education of the people. That's probably the most neutral aspect of it all. Where, help to educate people and to further their career abilities, opportunities in whatever industry is always good. So that's basically, again, nothing, but it's nothing that addresses the current issues that Blizzard has. It's nothing that deals with the problems that Blizzard has. It's just eye candy. That's what it is. Not to take away from the 250 million invested or the people that benefit from it. Not at all. It's just that this is something that doesn't help anyone currently suffering from the abuse, from the harassment that has been done to them. Doesn't help anything. So, Oprillion?
Okay. Yeah.
There you are.
There.
I think that it's just we put in 250 million for this, so we might as well put in 250 million for this kind of related thing, but it still doesn't help us.
Right.
And we might probably, I don't know the tax laws in America all that well, but I would assume that much of that second batch of 250 million can be written off as tax deductible.
Right.
Just a thought that I had, because it just doesn't help the company at all. Yeah, they might get 1 or 2 people over 10 years that benefit from this project that they do to really work at their company. But again, it's eye candy. It's nothing more.
Yeah.
So, number 3, based on feedback from employees, now it gets interesting. That might be a better ABK. We don't know, because in all this, the entire letter, the entire email, a better ABK, those letters forming that word, never shows up. So he is technically still not addressing them and the existence of it, of a better APK. So based on feedback from employees, we are waiving required arbitration of, and I've added only, because that's what it is, sexual harassment and discrimination claims. Again, I said earlier, what about regular harassment? What about other criminal offenses? You still have required or mandatory arbitration there. Why only sexual harassment and discrimination claims? Why do they highlight the sexual part so much? Again, it's look here, cosmetic, but not there. It's this is what stirred the most people. So let's do something about that. And the other stuff, we can maybe deal with that eventually. But for now, let's just deal with the sexual, because that sounds so dirty. So let's get that out of the way. For any Activision Blizzard employee who chooses not to arbitrate an individual claim of, again, only sexual harassment, unlawful discrimination, or related retaliation arising in the future, the company will waive any obligation to do so. So, again, individual claim, not in a lawsuit that has two or more co-defendants. Defendant is the other part. People that like bundle their lawsuits together, like, what is that term? I don't know.
It's called, oh God. I know what you mean. It's with class action suit.
Yeah. So as soon as you enter that, you still have to go through required arbitration, because it's not an individual claim. And again, it's still only sexual harassment, unlawful discrimination, or related retaliation arising in the future. So it's not currently ongoing lawsuits either. It's only stuff that's coming in the future. Why not just waive mandatory arbitration, say we're going to pull out of the arbitration that's ongoing now? Why not? It's something that, again, it's not even a half step where it requires one step. It's maybe a quarter step, if that, towards the resolution of the issue. It's again, it sounds good on the outside, and people just read the first part of it, and then it's like just the fine print in a contract, small print, where you read the highlighted stuff, and then the paragraph underneath you don't read anymore, because, the headline of the paragraph is what counts for me, and no, it's not good enough. It's a first step, quarter step,
right? But
not good enough.
Right.
Number 4, we will continue to increase visibility on pay equality. What is visibility on pay equality? So either you just open up in Germany, where I worked at the post office, I was a civil servant. I still am, technically.
Right.
And for our regular non-civil servant workers either. The post office released, our union, our postal union, came to us at our workplace every year after our payment renegotiation and gave us a little folder, a little flyer, where we could see our future payment. You had that rank, that position, you were at the company for that many years, equals that much money. There's nothing secret about it. Why do you have to make payment secret? It's just not. In Germany, by law, there's still an understanding, and I'm not sure if it's 100% that way. There is no every civil servant in Germany works under a law that makes that gives you that tells the county or the state or the federal department how much you have to pay the people, and it's open. You can go to the website in Germany and see how much I make. Sure, no problem. I don't understand what the payment issue is there. It should, and it's something where I just laws, different countries, different laws, obviously, but stuff is it should be a non-issue.
Right, it should be.
Yeah. As described in the recent note from our president and our chief administrative officer, the company continues to focus on pay equality for employees. In fact, our U.S. analysis shows that women at the company, on average, earn slightly more than men for comparable work in 2020. Interesting. To ensure transparency on our continuing commitment to pay equality, we will report these results annually. And Preach said something interesting in his reaction as well, where I can't remember if he said he predicted, but he said it wouldn't surprise him. I think that's what he said. Something to the effect of that there would be quite a few new titles and positions popping up in the company.
Right, yeah.
Because if you have a new title or a new position, that comes with a separate pay bracket. So you don't if there's only one person that has that job, that holds that job, you can pay them whatever you want.
And you're not held accountable.
Yeah. So pay equality can be can be
manipulated,
combated, I would even say. When it comes to, we have those 10 people, and I want this person to earn more than the other person.
right?
So I invent this new position for them so they can get $2,000 more. Yeah, sure. 5, we will provide regular progress updates. So he basically says that on this, they're going to inform the in the ESG report, gender hiring, diversity hiring, and workplace progress. So, yeah. And now the most interesting part. Those were the 5 things he wanted to change. Most interesting part for me, the most insignificant part, but still most interesting. Lastly, I want to ensure that every available resource is being used in the service of being the company leader, the industry leader in workplace excellence. So, what resource might that be? Technically, there's only one resource a company can use. That's money. So, accordingly, I have asked our board of directors to reduce my total compensation until the board determines that we have achieved the transformational gender-related goals and other commitments described above.
So it's the board that's determining. That's very interesting.
Specifically, I have asked the board to reduce my pay to the lowest amount California law will allow for people earning a salary, which this year is $62,500. To be clear, this is a reduction in my overall compensation, not just my salary. I am asking not to receive any bonuses or be granted any equally during this time. Equity.
Wow, that's interesting.
So but it doesn't matter. This guy has how many billions of dollars in his bank account?
Right. It's not like he's going to be starving.
No. And something, I can't remember who's, Bellier rightfully said another thing. He said that, that's all well and good. But this guy is being paid, has been paid, will be paid, partly in stocks.
Oh, yeah.
And what does stocks pay you? Dividends. Dividends are not considered, what's his term, compensation.
Right, yeah.
Because they're just, everyone gets dividends and holds stocks.
Right.
Yeah.
So he...
And by making this, empty gesture, he's trying to increase his dividends.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
So it's a win-win situation for him.
I think Bellier said something along the lines of the dividend being 74 cents, something, so he would approximately get 200,000+ from the dividends. So that, that's 3 times more than he would make from his salary, from his compensation on top. So he is not going to starve, as you rightfully said. This is the most revealing for me of them all. It is on its face the most quote unquote shocking. See, he's going to
He's giving
basically
up money.
say, I'm not going to want to get paid anymore. And he's so gracious.
Look at him. He's wonderful.
Look at him. Yeah. Isn't that sweet? Basically, oh, you little boy. Yeah. No, guys. How many yachts do he have? Does he have? 794, I believe. No, not quite. But private jet, couple of yachts. I don't know. A couple of villas. That he can, if he were to earn that salary indefinitely, if the board would decide that, for the rest of his life, as long as he is part of the company, it's impossible to meet the goals set in the changes he listed above, just because he is there. If that were the case, and he would have to live on the 62,500 for the remainder of his the duration of his employment at the company, he wouldn't starve. So that's something that again, it's all for the stockholders, all for the people reading that in light of the upcoming earnings call. It's all cosmetics.
Yeah,
that's what it is. So the rest of the thing is, he says he's really, really sorry, and he is deeply grateful, and it's quite a long letter. I condensed it down as best I could, so it was still way too long. And again, non-native English speaking, so it's not always easy for me to do it. But
you did a great job. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. So the next, let's leave that where it is at the moment. See if next week we're going to talk about the earnings call. I predict, people said that the overall income, I don't know the technical terms, are going to rise because of COVID still going on.
Right.
But I still predict, and I still think that the MAUs, the monthly active users, are going to go down once more. And because the last time we talked about the earnings call and the fallout from the from people not being receiving Shadowlands as the greatest expansion. Let's just put it that way. We've seen that the MAUs, monthly active users, have gone down 5 quarters in a row, and that was the last one was before the bomb exploded.
Right.
So that means that, technically it was after, but if I remember correctly,
the fallout hadn't landed fully.
Yeah, the numbers collected didn't reflect it yet.
Yes.
It's always like a couple of weeks. You see, we've got November the 2nd, when the earnings call comes out, and the quarter ended last month. So it's a month and a couple of days to collect the numbers and prepare the report. And that month was basically what saved their butts last time. So, but now it's, and it couldn't have gone better for them. Let's be quite frank. Had the earnings call happened, let's say a month ago, or a month after the bomb had hit, so in August, where the rage was really, really going, it wouldn't have been as good for them as it is now. Because, believe you me, I bet that quite a few people have returned to WoW in light of all the changes that they've announced for 9.1.5. And a job well done on that, Blizzard. They just, again, throwing mud at the wall.
And seeing what sticks.
Seeing what sticks and going through forum posts to see what do people want. Is it feasible to do that without much of any problems? Basically, all the cosmetic change, or many of the cosmetic changes that I've seen now are, like for instance, some of the things for the Nightborn.
Right.
That people wanted to play Nightborn that looked like the NPC Nightborn.
Right, especially the glowy hands.
Glowy hands are a different thing because they don't glow the way that the NPC hands glow.
Right, the NPC's hands were like really nicely glowing. And
this is,
you get like fingertips. It's not even right.
It's much like the outline glow when you mouse over an NPC, and this character player character glow is totally different. But that's beside the point. What I wanted to get at is that the NPC style of Nightborn is in the game already. It's art that is there.
Right.
So they didn't have to do much. It's quote unquote easy to put on the player character. If I know anything about game coding, I don't, but it shouldn't be too difficult. Let's just put it that way.
Yes.
Yeah. So
animation to the artist, so he can like rotate the body and do the casting animation and do the fighting animation. And the artist makes his own interpretation of what it should look like.
Right.
Because all the animations are different, right? Pandaren different than Goblin, and everybody has their own subtleties, right?
Yep. But we still don't have Blood Elf Red Eyes. I'm still.
You can if you put the cloth helmet from the bind on account gear. The cloth helmet from the bind on account here gives you red eyes.
But I don't want that. I want
native.
a proper. I want a proper Dark Ranger, and they don't.
Right.
They don't use a cloth helmet.
Right.
So
what you want is cross transmog or something.
No, I just want the option for red eyes. Period. Full stop. We can have golden eyes. We can have white eyes. We can have green eyes. Why not red? What is so special about red eyes? Nothing. It's just Blizzard is unwilling to do it. That's it.
My Tauren has red eyes. I don't know if that applies.
No, you see, red eyes are possible in the game. Why not? Why not for player character Blood Elves?
Right.
Something I don't understand. Okay, couple of more things. We have started on October the 29th, running through November the 14th.
Right.
There is a thing called Classic Against Cancer event.
Oh, interesting.
From October the 29th, running through November the 14th, many of the largest WoW Classic communities, realms, and streamers will be teaming up with the Game Theory community and St. Jude's Play Live to raise funds for St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital.
Oh, cool.
So if you want to donate, I've put the link into the show notes.
Okay.
There will be no hard structure or event schedule. Guilds, communities, and streamers are encouraged to host their own events and challenges to help the cause. Maligos, founder of the event, says our goal is to unite the entire WoW Classic community against a common enemy under one battle flag and to do something amazing, something never done before. Just wanted to put that in there. Again, we have about 2 weeks left in that campaign until November the 14th. Then we have another cash cow, cash kitty in this case. The Sun-Warmed Furline mount is now live in the Battle.net store for $25 or €25. That means that, to my knowledge, on the EU side, the mounts have always been €20, not 25.
Right, yeah.
I might be wrong, but they might have changed that 1 or 2 mounts ago. But since I always bought mine on the US side, because the exchange rate was better, now we're even more better because the price in the US in the EU has risen to US numbers. So the exchange rate advantage for me in the EU is even more prominent. So I put in a link to the YouTube video, the little intro video in the show notes if you want to look at it. And then we have a couple of patch notes before we then maybe are done soon. Sorry, this is the Lightforged Paladin finally get their own Paladin mount. They get a Telbuck. It's called Lightforged Ruin Strider.
Oh yeah.
And And the Sylvanas novel has been delayed and delayed again.
Oh, yeah.
And delayed again now. I think that the last thing I read was sometime in April now. The most current I could find confirmed delay was March 29th, 2022. I believe I saw briefly a new March 9th or something date, but I can't remember where. So what I can confirm by looking at it and seeing on a website is March 29th. It might change again. Question is why? Has that to do with the delay of 9.2? We get 9.1.5. The original release date for Sylvanas, the novel, was supposed to be November 9th, I believe. So that would have been within their normal timeline for 2 patches per year, and fairly close to BlizzCon, which would have happened this weekend. Had everything worked out the way it was supposed to, I believe. It's always, well, most oftentimes it was the last weekend of October. So
right, yeah.
And then so that would have made perfect sense. Have the promo stuff going on, have early copies available and buy them at BlizzCon, and then release it to the public on, as I said, I believe it was November 9th. Have Christie and possibly Patty signing them. And by the way, Christie, I'm not sure if I should bring up this topic, but I'm gonna. So because I from this position, I want to wish Christie all the best in her upcoming battle with cancer.
Oh no.
She posted a tweet a week or 2 ago, and that's the reason why I feel I can safely talk about it,
right?
Because she made it public. So it's something that
she posted a tweet a week after the running out of gnomes.
I can't remember when exactly, but around
there,
she had a biopsy, and it was cancer. So it is cancer. So it's not easy. Obviously, I know it all too well. Not that I have had cancer, but two of my grandparents have died of cancer, and one uncle has died of cancer. So it's something that I'm, much like I would imagine quite a few people, if not most people, are all too familiar with. And that's one reason why I wanted to bring up the Classic Against Cancer event as well.
Right.
So I think I speak for all of us. when I wish Christy all the best in her battle. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when it comes to the release date, they are what is in the novel might be a spoiler for 9.2 or vice versa.
Right.
So we don't know which way it goes. Probably they supplement each other. So it is only logical that they're going to postpone the release of the novel. So yeah, let's see when we'll eventually going to see it in stores or in on the websites to buy, or on if you, in whatever form you want to get it, whether you want to get it as an ebook or a physical book, or if you want to listen to the alluring voice of Patty Madsen, because she does the narration of the audiobook.
Oh,
Can't repeat that often enough.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, who else would narrate a Sylvanas book if not Patty? So come on, I almost wanted to say beseech Blizzard to have her do her own book after the Battle for Azeroth. Before the book was narrated by Josh Keaton, the voice actor of Anduin. So it's only fair that Sylvanas gets her own book, and that Patty gets her own chance to narrate. Yeah, and she does. So I think that's going to be probably my most listened to audiobook ever, I assume. So, yeah. Anyway, enough fanboying. Actually, there can't be enough fanboying, Sylvanas. No. Okay. Some changes we get from 9.1.5 is we get new character customization options. I'm Mountain Tauren, Lightforged Draenei, Nightborn, and and Void Elves. We know that. Paladins get their mount, their Rune Strider. I talked about that before. The dungeon quest for the unlocking of Kultiran humans, Mechanomes, and Dark Iron Dwarfs don't require the dungeon quests anymore. You just you can choose to skip it. A good thing is that they made it an option to skip, not a we are going to remove the content, much like they did with, and I'm quite mad about this, to be frank. I haven't, again, as I said, I haven't played WoW for months now.
Right.
But that's beside the point. People talked about someone finding noticing that they removed most of the Torghast quest chain.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Specifically, the part where you go and rescue Jaina and you go and rescue Thrall. And then the one where you go and collect the 3 mementos from Anduin as well. They simply flat out remove them. Not a thing where, you can. I've seen this before. I don't want to do it. Just skip it, like we have the other instances where you can do it. No, they just flat out remove the entire thing. Even modify Jaina's voice lines to reflect the change. But Bane, you still need to rescue Bane. So there is something I don't understand there, why they just took out content. And it's not even in the aftermath of the 9.1 dungeon, because the aftermath really is implemented after 9.1 is concluded with the raid. So that would mean that it's going to be removed in the 9.1.5 patch or in the 9.2 patch. But it's apparently already removed now. So it's something where they just secretly, if you want to call it that, they just went and removed it, and it's kind of sad because it's quite significant content that talks about, or that shows you how the people, Jaina and Thrall, dealt with their imprisonment and the reaction to it, or when you come and rescue them. Jaina, if I remember correctly, even doubts you being real. And you basically have to say, look, come on, let's go. And then it dawns on her that, oh yeah, you are real, and then you leave. But it's something that takes away from the character development in a way. Okay, more from 9.1.5, and this is where it gets interesting, in my opinion. Pet battles. They change stuff in pet battling. Flawless and family-specific battle training stones now provide a flat 2,000 experience. So no more boosting X levels, like 1 level. Was required to gain 1 level. So if you have a high-level pet that needs to get from 24 to 25, 2,000 experience isn't enough anymore.
Right.
Because the pool you need, if you just the pet barely ding 24, you need to spend more than 1 flawless or family-specific battles training stone to get them to 25, or do another battle. Fair-touched battle training stones now provide a flat 10,000 experience. Was the amount required to gain 5 levels? So, same amount times 5, 2,000 times 5 is 10,000. So that's logical. So the relation hasn't changed. The ultimate battle training stones, the purple ones, I mentioned that. Yes?
It has in a way, because as you increase in level, the level of XP required per level increases. increases.
That's what I
So
meant.
if you get 10,000 XP at low level, it's going to give you more levels. At higher levels, is like you're right, it's going to be shorter amount of levels.
Yep, exactly. Exactly. And I mean, one battle to get your pet from level 1 to level 4 is easy.
Yeah.
But getting your pet from level 20 to 24 doesn't happen in a normal battle. You need to...
you could cheat the system. You could
What about
do
Squash
like
Day?
the Ashley Pet Battle to get 12 levels.
Yes,
And then you would do flawless battle stones when you got to 25, level 20, because it would save you a lot of battle stones.
Yes, but you still only get 2,000 now, not one level anymore.
No, not anymore.
Yeah, so you might want to use, or you might have to use 2 fell touched instead of, and basically waste a couple of levels worth of experience. It's a thing where you have to do like math equation.
Yeah. Math is hard.
Math is hard. Yeah.
The ultimate, epic ultimate battle training stones now cost 35 polished pet charms. Was 60.
You used to be 60. Yeah.
I mentioned that last show or the show before that they were going to change that. Now it gets interesting. Battling wild pets with a team of comparable level pets now provide double experience. Pets on your team are eligible for this bonus if no pet on your team is more than 2 levels higher than any pet in the wild team.
That makes sense.
So that basically makes you rewards a level appropriate battling now.
Yeah.
So you can if you want to fast level them with a level 25 pet, sure, no problem. But you just if you just do a normal pet battle with pets that are within the bracket that they say, like 2 levels up to 2 levels higher, you get 200% experience. The experience penalty for a pet dying has been reduced to 50%, was 100. So pets still need to be active for at least 1 round to be eligible to earn experience from a battle. So basically, if you lose a battle, is that what it is? If you lose a battle,
you still get 50% XP or something.
yeah. If the last round, if it's like a tie or whatnot, but the opponent won, and then it remains to be seen. I'm not 100% sure what that exactly means, but it's like something that needs to be investigated. You can talk to Dragons After Dark eventually and see what she knows about this. All pets. Now this is the most interesting. All pet experience earned in battles, not only wild battles, all battles, is increased by 50%. to compensate the pet battle bonus event buff sign of the critter has been reduced to 100%, was 200.
Oh.
The net effect of this is that pet experience gained during the pet battle bonus event will remain unchanged from current values. Yeah, sure it will. Because you have the higher base value now.
All right.
So it means that from now on, when 9.1 drops, you basically run around and work with a pet battle bonus event light buff light. So you have like your pet battle bonus event buff is kind of baked in, but reduced by half forever under any condition. And then on top of that, you get the 50% if you do the 100% if you do the wild pet battling. So that's 300% in total. You get 100%, you get 50% additional. That's from today's standpoint, 150%. And on top of that, you get 100% again if you do the wild battle thing, which is from base, which is 150. So that's 300% in today's numbers. So that's really, really interesting to see that they increased the experience gained from pet battling by that much. I wonder why. Maybe to make wild pet battling and more attractive again. I don't know. It's something that, or maybe because there are so many new pets that people can't catch up because the pet battle bonus event isn't happening often enough.
Possible that next expansion they add another 5 levels to the max level. We don't know.
Right.
We don't know. No, exactly. That would be interesting if they were to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah. So let me just see. This I talked about. Let me see. Yeah, I wanted to quickly talk about the whole patch thing, and that's going to be it then. With the 9.1.5 coming out, it's I feel it like we are on a timeline for 9.2 kind of. So 9.1.5 comes out, as like we said, on Tuesday. That means that we're going to see the new content being teased.
Okay.
Maybe for 9.2, maybe late November, early December. It's always that they give us a couple of weeks, maybe a month to digest it. Mm-hmm. And then they start teasing the new stuff. So I would say no later than mid-December is when we're going to see the first things going to come out with regards to 9.2, because they are on a timeline. And the time, they are they have their backs against the wall because the expansion should have launched next year. It's 2 years next August, September. So theoretically, you could say that if they were to scrap 9.3, which is all too likely, sadly, apparently, they could make the post 9.2 period, the post final expansion period, the shortest of any expansion yet. If they were to say we are going to, if they are to make it the same way they did with Legion, where they basically scrapped everything that was development for Warlords of Draenor and focused on Legion. So if they are going to say, we have a larger team now, Team 2, Blizzard Team 2, WoW, you people that have been in at this for however long they've been, you are going to finish off 9.2 and release it, and the new people that came in over the period since that haven't worked on the current content as much, they started on 10.0 already and prepare that so they can have a faster turnaround on it, which means that they could in 1 year have a expansion ready to release that might release in January 23. That's what I see wouldn't be impossible, but because again it's something Blizzard has issues. The people that want to earn money, Bobby Kotick being amongst the people that wants to make the most, because as we mentioned, as you mentioned, Trillion, his shares needs to rise, his stocks needs to rise in value so he can get more dividends because it doesn't get any other compensation anymore.
Right,
so
right.
yeah. So it's even more enticing for him now to see the company doing well. So he needs to push for a release that increases the value of the stock that he owns. So, like I said, early December, first overview of content. Then late December, probably after Christmas, before New Year's, we'll see more substantial info. Mid-January, maybe, we should see the PTR. And then February to March, we should see the launch. And this is where we get back to Sylvanas. Remember I said it's linked and tied to the story, and they maybe had to push it again. So that's something that, another thing, they have the books printed already, I bet you, because they were supposed to be out by November 9th, I think it was. They're in a warehouse somewhere, waiting to be released, waiting to be sold. So it's something where there's so many fronts on which they have to deliver. So So I think that come what may, it's not going to take until May. Bad. We're going to see 9.2 no later than early April, probably mid-March. Mid-March, if you look at the release date I mentioned earlier, 29th, I think I said, of March for the Sylvanas book, something to that effect. So yeah, that's mid-March, kind of. And that fits perfectly. And then you can go into overdrive and have from March to April, maybe May, as a digestion period. And then let me quickly think. March is January, February, March. Then we have May for the next May for the next earnings call.
Mm. You know, the end of May is when I retire, so that's exciting.
Ooh.
Yes.
Yeah. So beginning of May, the next earnings call. Mm. The patch should be out way before that.
Right.
So all the influx of people is going to be reflected in that earnings call, which means, again, a month prior, which means it should be out at the latest by beginning of April, which is the cutoff point. Obviously, it's the new quarter. So that's another reason to get the release in March. Maybe even earlier, but I doubt that they're going to be able to make it to late mid-February. That's a little too ambitious. That's only 3 months from now. That's way too short, because normally you have a PTR that lasts between 6 and 8 weeks.
Right.
And that's already a month, and there's already 2 months. So if they were to drop the PTR the day after, theoretically, the day after 9.1.5 comes out, that's November the 3rd, then it would be December the 3rd, January the 3rd. So there's only 1 month there. That's two, or you have on the other side, you only have 1 month for the community to digest all the info that we're going to see. And it's a content patch. 9.1.5 is merely a 0.5 patch. No content. 9.2 is a big content patch. A condensed, combined patch, because most likely we don't get 9.3, so it's even bigger.
Right.
And throwing that out there within a quarter is impossible.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah. So, but Sylvanas isn't the only book that has been delayed. Exploring Kalimdor is apparently being delayed as well. So again, I don't exactly know when. I only heard that someone said that apparently, I haven't confirmed it. I received a email from Amazon that it's being delayed, but I only received one so far. I still haven't received the, what is it called? The white book, the book from it's Grimoire of the Shadowlands. That's a book that's apparently been released sometime back in May, I think. And I still haven't, no, in July 14th. I still haven't received my copy.
Oh, no. That's
so,
crazy.
Yeah, it's something where,
Come here,
yeah,
pumpkin.
it might have to do with the supply chain, with
yes.
the transportation to Europe. I have no idea, but it's interesting to see that there are so many delays in the books. I hope that they've had enough time to get the books ready.
Right.
Of the Sylvanas books, because I need to send my book somewhere. So it's with and if there is content in the patch that impacts the story of Sylvanas or exploring Kalimdor, you better believe they are going to delay the book's release, definitely. So again, mid-March, early April, but that's as far as they are able to go, in my opinion. Because if they go any further, then that's going to have so many more implications that they don't want to deal with. So, and that, I think, has been the longest news segment we've had so far. But it's the end of said news segment.
Well, it was a lot to catch up with, and plus, we've been out for 3 weeks, so that was a lot. So thank you, Grand Negus, and
sure.
You made that very succinct and informative. And now
I've had a fantastic weekend. Wow. It's very comforting. Those battlegrounds where you're not necessarily putting out more damage, but you feel like you're contributing more by pushing all the buttons all at once. Bad boy. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
Constructs, how's your weekend WoW been?
My weekend WoW has been busy. I tried to make some gold. I tried the auction house. I sold stuff from beginning of the expansion. I made basically a dagger that's a spellcaster's dagger.
Oh.
And I put 4 on the auction house, and I sold them all except 1. So that's pretty good. I tried to sell some mounts. Not much luck there. I sold some pieces of Battle for Azeroth gear for about 40,000 gold. That was pretty good.
Nice.
I also sold some water breathing potion for 1,900 gold. So I didn't know that was a going rate for that. But I use
PvP.
I used the add-on for what's it called? TSM. Which does my listing on the auction house. If there's no price, it picks a price for the region. So that was pretty good. I'm at 2.7 million on my main character, and my other characters are all making a little bit of gold here and there. I was
You say that. You say that so casually, but 2.7 million.
Yeah, it's the add-on. It's because the add-on allows me to list in 10 minutes when it would take me normally an hour to list. So I like.
Gotcha.
Really, that $25 a year is worth the money. Okay. Somebody's texting me. You'll remember. I haven't seen for months.
Oh.
Quest.
Well, I'm impressed either way.
Yeah. So I was gonna go into Hearthstone because of the hospital with Mrs. Constrax, and she's very busy. She's begging me to come to the hospital right now, but I'm doing the show, so I need to recharge my batteries because it was a rough kind of couple of days. Right. And while I was at the hospital, I played Hearthstone because I gave Blizzard my money for some stuff, and I should be entitled to play on the internet for free or almost free. My iPhone was quite expensive, but I'm getting to enjoy it.
You have the 12
processes and everything. I got the 12 Pro Max.
Ooh, the big.
So I got the big camera. The big battery. The battery lasts all day, all night, and the camera's good, and I'm on the 5G network, so everything downloads fast. So that's pretty good.
Good, you deserve that.
It used to be a slow go to play Hearthstone, but as long as you have good Wi-Fi, you can play that all day at the hospital. So I started playing the new expansion in Hearthstone called Mercenaries. It's kind of a play against the computer version of Hearthstone. So at first I wasn't a real fan of the expansion, but it kind of grew on me after I won all the normal level stuff with the Barons. So now I'm doing the heroic stuff, and it's more challenging to do heroic. You have to level some stuff, and so I did a couple of quests on the phone. The phone had like 7 or 8 quests because I hadn't played a long time. So I got all my achievements. I got some gold. With some gold, I bought some cards for the expansion. With the cards I bought for the expansion, I got more cards. With the more cards, I got dust. With the dust, I got better spells for the characters I do have. So it got me to the point where I created a fighter's pit in my little camp where the mercenaries live, and I played against somebody else, and I got demolished.
Oh no!
Lord Jaraxxus showed up, and whenever he hits you, he does a double whammy on everybody who's in your party. So I'm like, I guess I need Lord Jaraxxus if I want to do PvP. I have him, but he's level 1, and this other guy had Lord Jaraxxus level 7, so he kind of quickly polished off my party, and I was back to square one in the campfire, licking my wounds, and I was like, how am I going to do this? How am I going to level? What am I going to do? And I'm looking at the quests, and it says complete 2 bounties, and I'm like, well, how do I complete bounties if I've already done the quests? Right. What if I start the quest over again from a lower level? So I did heroic at a lower level, and I didn't do as good, but even if you lose, you still get something. So you don't get like the full package, but like Grandigus was saying, you get 50% of the XP type of deal. So that's what they do in Mercenaries. So you still get something, because there's people who go out there, they're pros. I mean, you're not going to beat them, because when you spawn in, you can see that they've already won 500 battles in that class. So their deck is optimized. They're go to the resources on the internet. They know how to handle every situation. There's nothing you can do that's going to give you a victory. Right. The only way you can win is either to get bored and they leave, or they have an accidental deck spawn in their hand that they can't do anything with. Right. Sometimes you're on turn 6 and you haven't played a card yet because there's no good low-level card to play. They're all crappy cards. So when you have 30 cards, you have to hope that some of them come in the right order. In my deck, I have Cthulhu. So Cthulhu, when you have him now, instead of being one card, he's 4 cards. So he splits up into your deck, so you have 33 cards. So in order to play Cthulhu, the other guy has to be fatigued for 3 turns already.
Oh.
So you're not likely to play Cthulhu in any normal game of normal length. Right. In order to play Cthulhu, you have to play the long game where you heal yourself over and over and over, and the other guy just spends all his mana trying to beat your minions down and doesn't succeed. So that's kind of the decks that I've built. I've built decks where you fortify the minions, you heal them. After you heal the minions, you summon copies of them. Right. You kind of put little tripping pitfalls for your opponent, and you hope that they trip and fall on their pitfalls, because there's like a lot of different ways for them to get out of the way. One of the most frustrating decks I've come up against is the mage deck that doesn't have minions. It only has spells. It's immensely frustrating because you can't put anything down on the board. They have all these powerful spells that can clear any minions, the board of minions, and then they have multiple cards that lower the cost of their spells by 1, and then they have multiple cards that pull more cards from the deck. So you're at like turn 12 or 13, and they've basically played all their cards. They've got their whole deck in their hand, and at that point, there's nothing you can do, because they've completed their quest, and they're completed their 2 bonus quests, and they have the quests that give them +1 to fireball for the rest of the game. So they're basically as good as a hunter, but better. And then they've got the quest that lowers their spell by 1 twice. And then they've got the quest that gives them increased spell power by 3 for the rest of the game. So at that point, the 20 and 30 points of damage in 1 round is coming. So it's just like, either you quit or you wait to suffer the humiliation. Either way, it's you're not likely to win that game. I have played a game where I've won against a mage on that deck, and they're so mad and they're threatening me, like they're emoting, my magic will destroy you, over and over and over, because they've come up, and I've gotten the perfect dealing to buff my minions, heal them all, summon copies, put taunt minions up, and they don't have the right order of cards to make me lose my patience and quit the game. So I got lucky on 1 or 2 of those mages, but some of the portraits are all the way at the end of the games. They're into level 100 of rewards. So there's like 400 levels of rewards, just like honor levels now. And you see portraits in there. You start the game, and it's like this Diablo portrait. You have Sylvanas Windrunner as a hunter.
Ooh.
So that's even before she was the undead queen.
Right.
It's like
yeah.
Before, long time ago. So how long ago did you have to play Hearthstone to have that portrait in the game? It's like you can have Illyria as a hunter.
So she is the with the blue clothes and the blonde hair.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So like this, they've put microtransactions in the game. So if you want a certain look or a certain thing, you can buy it. But if you play enough and you're skilled and you have a little bit of knowledge on the internet, you can achieve those goals as well. So I played enough that I actually got several achievements for playing taunt minions, which are like tanks. They hold aggro and you can't hit past them. I've gotten achievements for having minions that have divine shield. So the first hit you give to them doesn't kill them. They shrug it off, which is good. Oh, look out. Mrs. Contractor calling. Just a second.
All right. Well, while we wait for Mrs. Contracts, I don't know if anybody's interested in this, but I am also streaming on twitch.tv/Aprillian CAW or Control Alt Wow. And it's crazy because I am playing two versions of I'm playing April and Aprillian, and I'm also playing April PVD, who is my Final Fantasy IV character.
Yep.
So I have there's something I can click on, and it's an itinerant Moogle. What will you do? Newest irregular tombstone exchange, previous irregular tombstone exchange, or past irregular tombstone exchange?
That is a sorry. That is a welcome back.
Thank you.
Is a currency vendor.
Okay. So I just hit cancel because I don't have any currency.
Yeah. The currency for the event that is currently going on, one of the two events that are currently going on.
Okay. So I'm just going to go over here.
Yep. The event is called Muggle's Treasure Trove, the Hunt for Lore.
Nice.
All right. How is Mrs. Constructs?
She's a little bit cranky because the sleep specialist is coming at like an hour and a half from now, and he wants to put the CPAP machine on her nose, and she hates that thing.
Yeah.
So I have to be there when that happens.
Okay, so let's get going.
Yeah.
All right. Let's finish up so you can get back to Mrs. Constructs.
All right.
First of all, give her our affection.
Yes.
Okay. And what else do you have for us before you have to go?
I have sold that last blade that I was talking about before we did the thing. So I'm kind of happy with that. It's it's not a lot of work for a lot of reward, and it's like stuff that we made at the start of the expansion, but now everybody's leveled their profession, so they're not any more being made.
Right.
So people are leveling their alts, and they want gear on the alts. So it's a ceremonious dagger plus 86 to intellects, requires level 60. And what I do is I make it level 117, which is a better eye level, and require level 55 because I have the crafter's mark to lower the eye level, the requirement level of the thing and give it a better eye level. So once I put that on the auction house, it sold for 2,600 gold, which is not bad. That's
not bad at all.
It's 1 minute's work, if at all. And I could buy more material for 40 gold and put another 2,000 gold thing there. So if you're looking for something to do to make gold on the auction house, just go ahead and do it. Somebody's selling them for 100 gold. No, they're not selling them for 100 gold. There's none on the auction house. So I'm going to put this one for 2,000 gold. There you go. And the other one I'm going to buy and relist it. How dastardly, eh? Jacking up the price of the auction house.
How dare you?
How dare I? Yes. I must make that gold.
Of course.
Ceremonial blade, 100 gold. There it is. Is it the same thing? It looks like the same thing, yeah. So buy it and relist it. And I'm in my garrison, so I got my talent priest Ishal. And Ishal is right next to me, so it's like having a mailbox because I leveled the rep on him. There we go. 2,000 gold. Estimated profit, 1,900 gold. There we go.
Yeah, minus
cheap bastard. Cheap bastard.
Tax.
Minus the auction house cut.
Yep.
What's that guy's name? Tony Barrack?
What guy?
Bobby Barrack or whatever his name is.
Bobby Kotick.
Bobby Kotick. Minus his cut.
Minus his cut, yeah.
I don't have anything against Blizzard. I'm not wishing anything ill on them. I'm politically Canadian. I sit middle of the road, and I try not to piss off anybody on my way to work. And I try to have fun. Somebody at work brought a knife to work one day because they weren't having a good day. Yes, they were stopped at the gate and helped to the hospital. They're a productive coworker, but that day they were not having a good day. So we're glad we worked all that out before anybody got hurt. But oh my goodness, I really enjoy the games from Blizzard. I don't want to give them a lot of money because I don't have a lot of money. But the money I do have, I like to give a little bit of it to them, like with my subscription. I have the 6 months running subscription on one account now. I don't have multiple accounts. I have my second account still has 3 months left on it. I might renew. I might not renew. I don't know. But I've canceled the automatic renew. So
and remember, you can do that. Even if you set up a subscription, you can go back in afterwards and cancel it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they always ask you your reason for leaving.
Tell them Blizzard
told them
sucks.
No money. Blizzard sucks. Whatever.
Yeah, just say Blizzard sucks.
I have had a lot of fun with mercenaries. I've played my priest deck in regular Hearthstone. I've tried the battleground. I had a quest. Complete one battleground. It didn't say win or lose. It just said complete it.
Complete it.
So I went in there and I got slaughtered. I finished 7th, almost dead last. So, but I got my my reward for completing it. I got my dust. I don't have a lot of legendary cards because what happens is as standard play progresses, some cards are removed from standard play to become wild cards. Wild cards are all the cards that were ever made.
Oh.
Standard cards are only the cards from the last 2 years.
Oh, interesting.
And as stuff gets removed from standard, new cards are added. So I have not a lot of legendaries, but the legendaries I do have, I use and abuse them. It's very frustrating for a new player to start the game and see 3 legendaries pop down in front of them.
But that's the nature of the game.
Usually that will end the game right there. But if you're fortunate to have legendaries, like I have Ysera, almost everybody has Ysera because I think that was part of a previous expansion.
Right.
When you play her, you get 5 cards in your hands back. So, and they're usually the same 5 cards. So if you play Ysera and somebody plays Ysera back to you, you have the same cards. You sort of know what you're up against. But it's quite a lot of back and forth. I made a hunter deck, and I thought I was going to get slaughtered, and I won 2 games with it right away. So I guess I had the right combination of cards to buff and kill the taunt minions. I find that I'm fighting a lot of warriors. Garrosh is a popular choice to come up against because people like to have 30 health and 20 armor when they finish their run with a screenshot of you at 1 health point. They don't kill you. They knock you down to 1 health point, and they pass the turn, and they fill up their board to say, look at me. I'm Mr. Perfect. I can do it right. Okay, that's humiliating, but you got your screenshot, and you've won. I bow down to your greatness and whatnot. Great. And let me move on to the next opponents. I have half a chance to win. At first, Mrs. Construct was very, very needy, so a lot of games that I didn't complete, I would just quit halfway through, but there's a limit on your timer. So fear not, if you quit a game after 3 turns, your opponent can just ruffle stomp you to the ground in about 10 seconds. So if you have to leave, it's not the end of the world. It just means if you're playing ranked, you might lose a little bit of your ranking. Usually I play ranked because you get a reward at the end of the month. You get a card back. So you get a different look on the back of your cards, and you also get some dust to craft your own cards. So usually what I do is I focus on the season. I focus on a class. So I look up my decks that have some legendaries, and I try to buy the very best quest card or legendary card for that expansion with the specific purpose of winning a lot of slaughter games where you play that legendary right at the top of the game, right at the beginning, and you just kill everything that comes up. During one of the expansions, the legendary was give your beast +2/+2 to the hunter. It was insanely powerful. You started that, and your whole board just fill up with cards that healed themselves, got better and better as time went on, and you would just stomp them at the ground. I won 180 games with my hunter in a fairly short amount of time. And the season after that, I worked on my priest deck. My priest needed a few legendary cards to have a healing/buffing effect quest card. It's been removed from the game. So in order for me to rebuild the priest deck, I have to spend, I don't know, like 4,000 dust to buy the right cards or to craft the legendaries that I need. I could just do it with money. I did that for 2 expansions. I spent like $79 buying cards. And once you have $79, you're going to get legendaries no matter what packs you open. Because when you have 40 or 50 packs, every 10 packs you're guaranteed 1 legendary. So those are drop rules that they put in the game to prevent people from being disappointed. You buy like 20 packs of cards and you don't get nothing. That doesn't happen anymore. Now when you have 20 packs of cards, in those 20, you're guaranteed at least 2 legendaries. And they put I want to say, odd restrictions so that you're not going to get the same legendary twice, because you can only put that legendary in once per deck. So if you get a silver legendary and a golden copy legendary, you can only use one of those 2, and you can disenchant one of them for a lot of dust, but you can't use both of them in the same deck. Is an unfortunate part. I want to say Hearthstone is worth your time if you have a lot of 5-10 minutes here and there, because you can play a game really quickly on the iPhone 12. It's really great. The screen is just big enough that you can read the cards easily, and you can play fairly quickly on the 5G network. And I don't have an issue with Blizzard making mobile games. Some people have an issue with Diablo on the mobile. Okay, well, I don't have to buy that one. I'm not. I like Diablo on the PC. I don't like it on the mobile. So it is what it is. And that's pretty much been my week. I'm going to have to disappear to the hospital, but I've put Grand Negus as co-host.
Okay, well, thank you for being here, and give our best to Mrs. Constrax. Let her know that we are thinking of her, and we appreciate the time that she lets you spend with us, as it were.
Grand Negus, are you going to be able to stream from your computer?
I do not know. I'm going to try to.
Because Aprillian's got a new key that she has to give you, I think.
No, I already gave it to him. He already.
Oh, you already gave it to him?
Yeah, he already has it.
Okay. I have immense fun coming and doing the show every week.
And we
really want to give that up for anything. And no lawsuit at Blizzard is going to make me drop that show. It's just so much fun.
So you have it, Grand Negus?
I'm checking what it is.
If we lose the stream, you can listen to us on the podcast.
Yeah, on the podcast, yes. Yeah. It might be a bit of a long podcast this week, but we sure enjoy making the show for you guys.
Exactly.
We have like 9 people in the chat room, too.
Hi, chat room. Hopefully we can keep you guys. I am having a battle in Final Fantasy IV that I may or may not win.
Okay, I'm going to. Let me just see what I have here.
Aprillian here. We did not get that to go properly last night, so we're going to be doing it part 2 pretty soon. This is the end of part 1 of Control Alt WoW, episode 726. We hope you come back for part 2. This is Aprillian for the Horde.